someone who really does know what teamwork is all about from a very different perspective. So if you're not familiar with Matt, I'm sure many of you are, he was an integral member of the England Rugby team's 2003 World Cup success. He is a hugely charismatic speaker and is really adept at taking teamwork, leadership and high performance strategies from the pitch to the boardroom. So I'm really delighted to welcome Matt. Over to you, Matt.
Good afternoon, everyone. Jessica and Jamil, great stuff. It stood out for me, just a phrase that Jessica just mentioned, it's time to change. It's as if I was just segueing nicely into some of the things that I would maybe like to get across, because I see this adversity that we're going through as a huge opportunity. That might be a very optimistic view. One thing I did want to mention was that this thing here, I know you're all thinking, why is Matt Dawson sat next to some kind of flamingo? It's already been asked. It's a very simple answer. That if I move it out of the way, it looks like I'm in the toilet. And everyone thinks that I'm just, yeah, but I'm not. I'm in the office. You're in my house. Okay, so where do you go? I need to up my technology a little bit. I'm going to share screen like we've all been sharing screens, rather than what Jessica had, which I need to get. But what I would like to maybe just run through in the 10 or so minutes is some of the examples that I see for myself with businesses that I work for in a sort of a strategic sales consultancy role. They want me to go out and find new business. Of course they do. But in that process, it is involved. I get myself involved with lots of individuals and teams, and they want to know about high performance. Now, that's all well and good ordinarily, but given the adversity right now, it's tough. I don't need to state the obvious. It is extremely difficult. So I just thought maybe I'm going to talk as I do this and see what my technical skills are like.
One shot on it, no one can cope with you. Right. Did I think that it goes true by that football?
Yeah. Someone's talking in the background there as well, by the way, just so we know. Okay, let's play. How about that? Hopefully, I'm going to get a thumbs up from maybe Geeta. Give us a thumbs up.
They're true, buddy.
Okay. Yes, perfect. We're good. We're good to go. My headline there around the adversity is based from my sporting background, because I will look back at probably two moments. One in 1999. And then another one actually in 2015. England were in the World Cup, hosted the World Cup 2015, didn't even get out of their group. I mean, talk about hit rock bottom. And yet 4 years later, they're in the World Cup final, probably played the greatest game of rugby ever against New Zealand in the semi-final. An amazing team, didn't win, but were incredible. In 1999, we got knocked out in the quarterfinals. We went on to win it in 2003. There was a seismic shift in the way that our team had to develop in that 4-year period. It's a little bit sort of pre-professional era, but joining it with maybe some of the more corporate examples that I've had over the years, I suddenly then start to see a lot of the characteristics of good teams and good team people in and around the workplace. There you can see from those top two pictures how it used to be, very old school, baggy shirts. The guy running through the tackle, holding the ball, is a guy called Jonah Lomu, and the guy trying to tackle him is actually me, believe it or not. I played against Jonah Lomu 4 times in my career, and that is the only evidence of me touching him in 4 games of rugby. But I cherish it. Let's go through how it used to be. Maybe draw comparisons how it used to be pre-COVID, because we all know it's going to change. It's already changed significantly, but there's some change for good here. Yeah, that eyes-on analysis of going, you would only watch the games. Arguably, is that how we used to work, by roaming the offices and making sure that, yes, people are attending. They're in the office, therefore they're getting a tick in the box. They are doing their number of calls at the brokerage. They are hitting their budget or going through their numbers. Is that enough now? It certainly wasn't enough just to have eyes on analysis of rugby. Back then, it's developed immeasurably. The measurement of success previously was results, was winning. Well, before all the analysis and the data and stats around rugby particularly, if you won, you probably got in the team the next week. You got a pat on the back. Well done. The one as a team, therefore as an individual, it's a big thumbs up. Not so much anymore when the analysis is down to the fine detail. The coaching was done on the training ground. That's where the team met, at the team hotel or at the team training ground, maybe in a little workshop office under the stand, then go out onto the pitch. Same at work. Most of the work gets done in HQ in Manchester, Birmingham, London, all these major cities. Is that now going to be the case? We all know that it's not. The training wasn't very tailored. The backs would do the same amount of work as all the rest of the backs. The forwards would do the same work as the forwards. I see it again. I see it in the workplace time after time. Induction, everybody doing the same type of induction. Everybody. Only a week ago, I was on a Pitch Pals presentation, going through the same presentation as everybody else. It wasn't tailored to me. And now we have this ability with the tech and the appetite of the right people to be able to do that. Highlighted by, I'm only going to say it once. All of these pieced together previously, and we can look at say previously as only a matter of months. If we wanted to be a team, we had to be together. I don't believe that's the case anymore. I'm getting quite bullish and positive about the way that we can create teams remotely. Yes, we're going to need to get in front of people, and the balance of that time period has to be absolutely spot on. But it's capable. Look at the sport, where the sport is right now in rugby, football, cricket, hockey, name it. The coaches that make decisions out of these data-driven exercises, the output is absolutely measured to the nth degree, but it gives an element of emotion and friendship, intimacy, because you're having these one-on-ones. I'm having one-on-ones with my team, and I'm speaking to my team in their bedroom, in their front room, in their kitchen. I'm getting to know these people. I'm understanding the pains that they're going through. I'm understanding the successes they're going to. I'm on the CRM system. I'm on Salesforce. I want to make sure that I know that they're going through the calls and they're having the meetings and what are the outcomes. You can look at it two ways. You can either look at it as it's big brother and there's no escape, or you can look at it that there is time to change, as Jessica mentioned, all right, and time to step up, time to shine. That's exactly how I see it. And flipping back from the previous text there around being able to do this absolutely anywhere, I'm excited about that. And I know it's going to be difficult. A vast majority of your teams are probably not sat in an office in their own room if they're working from home. They're sat on the edge of their kid's bed because the Wi-Fi only works in that room. What we're going to do to make sure that the mental health of your teams are going to be at the appropriate levels for productivity. So of course there is work to do there, but there is an opportunity to sort your workplace out remotely. Can you do it in the local town, with the fact that now a lot of the retail outlets are now being able to be changed into office outlet. I know that is a huge dilemma, but these stories are starting to change. The opportunities are starting to grow. The information that we're all getting is so much different than maybe what it was 1, 2, 5, 10 years ago. If I go back to when I was playing back in my day, I would be selected by teletext. If I was lucky, I might find out on the radio. But that was it. I had no call from the coach. I did have a call from Clive Woodward in the latter part of my career to tell me the team was going to be selected on a Sunday, and he phoned me at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I saw his phone was on. Sorry, my phone was on, and it was his name on the phone. And I picked it up and said, "Oh, hi, Clive." He said, "Oh, Dawes, I was hoping to leave a message." I was like, no, I was up training or doing something. What do you want, Clive? He said, well, yeah, I was going to leave a message because, you haven't made, I'm going to go with the same team that played a couple of months ago against New Zealand because they won the game. It's all about the winning. I'm going to go with that same team. I know you're going to be disappointed. I said, I am disappointed, Clive. I'm desperately disappointed that you haven't picked me for the weekend because I was in that team against New Zealand. He said, were you? I said, yeah, I was. He said, and quick as a flash, he said, oh, okay, you're in, which I thought was a magnificent bit of management at the time. Good manipulation from me. But there just strikes the point on the understanding of the data, the people, the emotion, the communication is significantly changed over time, and this moment in time now is ready and primed for us all to get the communication information that we can all get at incredible speed. It's a brilliant time to get it right and step ahead of the competitors. And there was a question earlier, I forgive me, who was talking about social media. I think I was skimming through some of the questions. Now building teams, you don't need to just be in the room. Of course that's going to help, and we all need that interaction. But I see sports people, I see my colleagues wishing another colleague happy birthday, or taking a little bit of Mickey out of a picture that was sent, or having a bit of fun, or they've been for a drink or something. All of a sudden there are multiple ways of building this camaraderie and friendship rather than just being on site, which is what I mentioned before. Now we can talk about creating teams absolutely anywhere, and that's going to take incredible management. It's going to take creativity and innovation, but the one key factor in all of this is you've got to have the right people. And there have been some incredibly tough times over the last 4, 5, 6 months with furlough, dismissal, resignation, etc., etc., etc. Now, though, have you got the right people in your team to go and knock it out the park? Because stealing the line from Jitska, it is time to make that difference. It is time to be a differentiator. It's time to make the change and get excited about making that change. Let me get out of there. You're back. So I made a couple of notes on in a general conclusion. Oh, look at that, right on the button, 45, perfect. Sometimes in sport, in fact, most of the time in sport, it's about setting goals, personal goals, team goals. And if you want to be an elite sports person or in an elite team, it's about setting the bar high. And I know that's not necessarily going to be particularly easy if you want to make excuses. I see this as an opportunity to create a bar, however high you want that to be. You have an opportunity to create a bar which is better than other teams, other businesses, other competition. Because you can go either way. You can sit here as management and think we're all in it and we're all struggling and we'll plow on and we'll get through it. Or we have the mindset, and listening to both speakers previous to me, it's about having that little bit of spark in your mind to be able to create the playing field, to use that sporting analogy, for people to blossom and shine.